All right. Yeah. Very nice. Here we are. Once again. Where you been? We want to take a look at the weekly candle close. Very exciting times. Pull up the right chart would probably make a little bit more sense. Although we could look at that as we watch the times go down. Let's make this load up in a peaceful and friendly manner. There we go. There it is. Things are happening. Yep. Oh, very nice. Come on, chart open. Do what you need to do to make it work. You know what I mean? We're getting something. Oh boy. Don't worry about the black screen. It's just trying to figure things out. All right. Weekly candle. Exciting times. Which chart is this? That looks like the wrong chart. Certainly does. This is daily. This is not weekly. But that's all right. We're going to use it anyway. No problem here. We can make it work. All right. Support middleware? What are you talking about? This thing's doing crazy things. Okay. It's the wrong chart. Very nice. Let's go back to the right chart. There we go. All right. Weekly. Let's talk about the weekly real quick. Yeah. That's the thing. All right. So, obviously, we could see that we had some massive trading up here, right? All the way up top, 41.90. That was this zone right here. Now, we weren't able to get up past, we were able to get up past this high here, right? That's from January. This is what makes that longer trend line, which is actually what we came down and retested on the daily. And you'll be able to see that. I'll show you. Let me just do that. I know it's a disaster, but it's fine for today's purposes. Right, so this was the massive candle that we're still painting right now for the next 3 minutes. But this is what we are looking at. Pretty large candle. But this was the zone that we were looking for. Now, this was a previous profit target, or take profit at 382. It found support temporarily at the 5, which was nice. Didn't quite hit the 382. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But this was an area of interest earlier. It was hoping on the pullback it would have stuck around this accumulation zone, which would have been the 618, which would have been nicer. Not the case, obviously. Crashed down through. Temporarily found support at the 5, which was nice. And then traded down a little bit further. You can see it's sort of in this zone here, which was that top area on the first push out of this target zone, right? So when you hit this candle top here, we came down, worked our way up and around, and then we came up again, another leg up, and then boom, we came down to retest previous structure highs. It's okay, nothing to worry about. If we continue down, we know we're looking at areas of accumulation, which is going to be this zone right here, this ranged out area, and of course the 236, as well as possible support lines, as well as the trend area coming down from these two highs. Now, the trend that it stopped on was this guy. I'll paint it over for you. That's where we found temporary support for a little while, and then it broke through. So, of course, you know, it's something to be wary of. Not worry, just to, you know, to get an idea on what's going on. That's all. All right. I know I tried to preload the charts, but it didn't work, and things weren't working, and we were running out of time, as we are right now, because in less than a minute, we will paint the weekly candle. Very nice. If I could find my little countdown, 15 seconds, then we'd be able to actually watch it. Okay, so Last 15 minutes, we could see a lot of selling happening right here. Last 5 minutes, we could see a lot of selling right here. Okay, we should have just closed the candle. That should be a wrap for the weekly. Why aren't you working? Come on. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Eventually, here we go. All right. So, now that that has been closed, actually, I did want that all the way down there because I wanted to see these candles here, which was the larger than life dump from earlier. Okay. Let's let that slide over. And in the meantime, let's go back so we can get the actual painted numbers on here. And by painted, I do mean that they've been officially loaded onto the chart forever, never to be changed. So, opening 36.23 all the way down here. Right, 36.23. We opened the candle up. We hit a high of 41.90 way up here. We hit a low of 36.15, only a couple dollars lower than where we started. We closed at 37.33. So all in all, it was a bullish candle, 3% up, $110. So, you know, not bad. Still have a higher low. That's good. Still have a higher high. That's good. However, this candle formation, take it for what it's worth on the weekly chart, but this candle formation, if we're going to call this an uptrend, so if we're going to call the last 2 weeks, including this week, so last 3 weeks of trading, if we're going to call that an uptrend, then that's a shooting star. Shooting star typically is a reversal, so you'd be looking at going down. Weekly chart shows us volume was above average, so that's good. Above 9.6 billion in trading volume. Pretty crazy. Paul, Saint, what's up? How are you guys? So if we look at as far as candle patterns are concerned, if we're considering this a local uptrend, a micro uptrend, then yes, this would be a shooting star. Shooting star would then dictate, not dictate, but it would tell us that this would be considered reversal, and you would be looking at going down from here. Now, the difference would be if you're considering the larger trend, and if you consider the larger trend because you're in a bit of consolidation, still have lower highs, blah, 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 then you would be looking at this as a possible inverted hammer. Now, the problem with that is it should be at the bottom of a downtrend. So you would want this candle actually here, so on and so forth. So because of this trading back here, and it's not the lowest low, it doesn't really count. Just like where this would have been an inverted hammer, and we could see how it failed, right? That would have been the end of a downtrend, right? And then you would expect it to go up. It didn't. It just went sideways, and then it dumped, you know, viciously from 6,500 down to you know, 34 and change. All right. So if we look at the daily, because we do like doing the daily candle close as well. So if we look at the daily, we had a pretty massive dump. All right. Nothing unusual that we haven't seen before. Very similar to this guy here, 9%. This guy right here, 9%. All right, so it's not like we haven't been down this before or haven't seen anything similar to it. So, what are the numbers? Open 41.11. That was the first opening candle above 4,000 since, wow, man, since this candle here. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's be fair. All right, so since January 10th, we haven't opened up a candle that high. All right, so that was the first time, and look at that. Since the last time we did it, we lost 9%, and now this time we did it, we have lost 9%. I know what you're thinking. Illuminati confirmed. Okay, so we have our open 41.11. We closed, right? Or I'm sorry, we closed at 37.33. That's all the way down here. All right, we hit a high of 41.90, right? Same as on the weekly, obviously. And we hit a low of 37.02. That's right down here. All right. So far, we can see buying is coming in on the daily, on the for the first, what are we at here? First 5 minutes. So might as well just see what kind of buying we have. 5 minutes turning around. 1 minute has been going in that direction for the last little bit. And here we can see the 15-minute chart on the left-hand side. You can see the slow decline, and then dump. That's how the 15 ended up charting out. We are now at the point where we're getting new support from both holes, 50 and 80 on the holes, and more support coming in. So we do need to let this sort of simmer down, cool off a little bit, and see what ends up, taking precedence, right? We could easily see a reverse bar all the way back up, back into these levels again, back into that 41, 42 zone, or we can easily see another step down where we're back down testing, or retesting, I should say, these levels down here, which would be 30. We'll call it an average of 3,600, give or take. All right, this zone right here is not bad. I'm not mad about this at all. This is a previous structure high. This was a structure that we've been working on. So from the bottom up, sideways, up, and then down. So in order to pull back, we would have liked to see him pull back right here, but it kept going. No problem. So now we're back in this zone here. So to get back up top there, of course, there's always the struggle, and you're going to have to deal with these levels again in this area of accumulation again. And then this whole area, this whole zone, all over again, right? So it's always longer, it seems like, going back up. It's always a very slow process here, walking up these stairs. And like one of my friends said, Bitcoin, take the stairs up and the elevator down, right? So I thought that was pretty well said. All right, I want to scope out 7 days of trading. So I want to come over here and I want to go to the D7 and I want to see what shook the market in the last 7 days, where they're at, where they're trading, what kind of pullback they got going on, what kind of gains did they make or lose. This will give us an idea of what's cruising. I just want to reload that again. I'm always a little bit nervous that the numbers aren't correct on stream. So I like to just reload it. I know it takes a little long and it has to do its thing, but it's well worth it if we're looking at the correct numbers. That's what I think. All right, come on now. It's gonna do it. There it goes. Okay. Yes, 7 days. Let me sort it by peak gains. I know I gotta press another button. Ay, Dios mío. All right, so it looked like those numbers were correct. All right. Poly BTC 364% gain. Currently, from that 364% gain, it has only lost 7%. So pretty intense. We could see that the actual trading right here. So the trend is showing very bearish. Now that 364, we pulled this chart up when that happened, and it's just a fat finger. And by that I mean it's just it's a massive wick, like down to the floor. And so it looks like it was, up 364%. It's really not. Poly is doing horrible things right now, which is okay because, we're watching it. We're watching this right here. We want to be able to see, conversion into light green. Give us an idea that we're moving a peak move up out of range, which would be nice, and then we'll hop in and see if we don't find a trend. EVX up 128, down 14. All right, and that's over the course of the last 7 days of trading. You can see the 12 and the daily are slightly bullish, while almost everything else is bearish. All right, so that's a rough move right here. 14, you'd be expecting a bigger pullback. I want to see this chart. EVX BTC. Now, I don't like trading these super low caps under 5 million, but we'll pull up the chart and we'll just take a look and see what's going on here. So yeah, this is another one where we have this massive wick. So you get that big massive wick. Now, you know, we're looking at something like this as far as the live fib is concerned, right? So you got this big massive, you know, distance here, right? This is your bottom of the area in 7 days. This is the top of your area in 7 days. And it would look like it's pulled back, you know, approximately this much. Unfortunately, when you have these big wicked out candles like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, you know, this is a chart you don't trade. This is a coin you just don't trade. This is 100% manipulation, pump and dumps, right? So you don't want anything to do with that. If you're not in the inner circle of the pump and dump group responsible for this horrific looking chart, then just stay away from it, all right, until something happens otherwise. I mean, if you do want to trade it, you know, by all means, but I would be very careful about trading anything that looks anything like that. All right, mod BTC, 88% up. Now this is all, again, you would think that this is going to look similar. Let's take a look. Oh man, oh, that didn't work. Let's mod. What's going on here? Mod BTC. Nothing. Mod USD. Did I do that wrong? Mod BTC. Oh, this was delisted. Ah, right. Is this one of the ones delisted? Somebody help me out. Oh, wall banger. Got in the ICX yesterday. Excellent. I'm still holding. Mistake for holding it too. Oh man, I should have read the whole comment before I commented. ICX, what did you do? BTC. BTC. I think I just had that chart up. Let's see what we got here. Yes, so on the pullback, right? So this is what we want to see, right? What we want to see is a push out of range, right? And then a retest. So you get the push out of range, and then you get a retest, and then we're looking to possibly get in on the trade. Until we see that, all right, we don't really do anything with this unless you're a range trader. If you're, you know, if you trade within ranges, then that's all you. You would short right here, and you would have taken that dump down, and when it got down here, you would long, yada 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 yada. Right? As for me, I do range trades sometimes. Not, I haven't in a while. You need to be a little bit more focused. And I'm just doing a bunch of other things. So I take those. When I have time, I'll do like a day of scalping. But when I have less time, I'll do within trend trading, trade the pullbacks, and I'll do breakout plays. That'll be, you know, whatever, anywhere between 3 to 8 days breakout plays or similar. Like this one might take, you know, once we do break out and pull back and retest, you know, that whole deal might be 2 weeks, right? So that type of play. So wall banger, man, I am sorry to hear that. That is not cool. Not cool. Let's see what we got here. RCN BTC 82 up, 49 down. This is a little bit mixed bag right here. Right, you're sideways across the board, still slightly bearish on daily, slightly bearish on 15. ONT had a pretty good week, had a really good week. 81% up, 36% down. This is great right here. Bullish on the 4 and a 6. Slightly bearish on the 5, slightly bearish on the daily. ONT USDT. Let's take a look at that. So ontology. All right, so ontology coming out. This was a breakout play out of the falling wedge. So we were able to push that up and out. We were hoping for a retest down here in the daily. Never got it. I think we got the retest on the 1 hour though. So it's fine. You know, you don't see it in 24 hours of trading, but you might as well take a look since we're talking about it. So let's see, where were we here? Down, back, and did we get the retest from the break? No, we didn't. Not even on the hour we didn't get it. All right. So yeah, so this is the edge of that. We got this. I don't know. I mean, that's okay, but you need to find support on it. Never did. Came down, ended up making a lower low, sideways, another lower low. Sideways for a little bit higher low, so this was an indication something might be happening. And then when we shot up and through, when we came back down, it was insignificant as far as coming down. So, yeah, not great. We didn't hop in this one right away because of that. No retest is, you know, a reason to think twice about it. However, this played out really nice, so that's great. Our first pullback, I guess, would have been right here. So let's just take a look at this real quick. See what transpired. Yeah, so that pullback would have been the 618 pullback. Nice. Didn't exactly do much for quite a while until we broke previous structure high, which was, I don't know, it looks like maybe 2 weeks later, ballpark. No, I'm sorry, this is the hourly chart. What am I talking about? So maybe 2 days later. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see, breakout play, slap the 618, and then, yeah, maybe like 3 or 4 days. Until we broke previous structure high, and then ended up painting this high right here. So at which point, then you're buying this pullback, you're trading it up above previous structure high, you're buying this pullback, previous structure high, you're buying this pullback right here, previous structure. You could have put orders in here, you probably wouldn't have gotten filled, but you're still in the play for this one, another pullback, yada, 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 yada. You know what I'm talking about. Now, on the much larger picture, right, this is another pullback zone right here. This one much deeper, right? So let's go back now for the actual play. And that's what we're looking at. And our high up top, right? This is the wrong way. Nope. Okay. Let's do that. All right, we would be looking at a pullback to 618 would be 0.80. The 5 is what hit at the 0.5. And then it looks like it pushed up a little bit and it's starting to go sideways. So overall, we're still in an uptrend. You know, like a local micro uptrend. This is the 4 hour chart. So, you know, ideally, you would like to buy some pullbacks in this zone in order to get yourself back up to the next larger resistance area, which is in the 1.49 zone. So there's still room to go here, at least should be until this is invalidated. So on the daily, we're still all right. We're still okay. It'd be very hard to maintain this slope, but it has been doing it so far, and it's been creeping up. These big, large candles, these big 18% candles do help push it away from trend to give enough room to be coming back. So if we do come back and retest, expect, you know, a pretty large dump. Now this candle yesterday ended up closing up 1.2%, but it's a huge spinning top, and that's usually indication of indecision, meaning that it had a huge wick down below and a huge wick up above and can't really decide what it wants to do. Currently, the candle that we're painting right now is very nice. It's very bullish. Already up, well, was up 1.8, almost 2%. So an entire day's worth of trading is already happening right now. So that's good. That's good. Wallbanger, yeah, delisted. All right, thanks. That's about mod. Very good. Can I get your thoughts on ETH USD on Kraken? I'm in a short now. I'll exit the short and go long around 130 if we get confirmation. Screen stuck. Is my screen stuck? Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be. It's moving on my screen, but it's not the greatest system right now. I have a sell order now in the mid 700s. Okay, mid 700s. Mid 700s. We're not. Okay. We're going back to ICX. My bad. Yes. All right. ETH USD Kraken. Yeah. Let's check it out. ETH USD on Kraken. Kraken. All right. Let's see. This is the last time I was on this chart. Apparently not that long ago. All right. Let me look at the weekly real quick. Let me see what I did to this poor chart. Let's say, all right, got a bit of a range. All right, we could probably, yeah, we can get rid of this guy here. We'll keep this guy for now. And let's see, all right, from the bottom to top. Okay, that's fine. We're cool with that. That's upside down. So let's do that. Bottom to top. All right, and bottom stuff. Okay. No, man, you kidding me? I did have it right. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Work with me here, guys. Work with me. All right. ETH USD. Go to the daily. And let's see what we see. All right. So, of course, very similar to... Oh, jeez. Everything's a problem. Very similar to the Bitcoin chart. Not surprised by that. You got your ladder step up, and then dump down. Previous structure high is right where we're at right now. Let's see what that meets with our fibs here. So dancing around the 382 from the move, right? So from the bigger move up. Now, I don't see that this painted. No, it really didn't. All right, so you had like a mini little cup and handle over here. Didn't get the handle, didn't get the push up. So minor discrepancies there. We certainly have to deal with a few things here. And that's going to be this range right here. And all of this is considered consolidation zone, right? All of this. And this zone over here is also going to be considered consolidation. Okay. And not to mention this little zone here, but we don't need to paint that just yet. So, if you're looking, what would you say? You were short? Were you short? Is that what you said? You're in a short now. You'll exit and go long around 130. Exit and go long around 130. 130. Well, you're 132 now. All right, let me put it to you this way. We're not going to get that information on the daily, so I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit. But let's look at the bigger picture, right? Let's do that first before we do anything drastic. You want to be able to maintain structure, right? So if you're short in an uptrend, right, it's a counter trend trade, which is fine. It's just inherently more risky. Okay? Now, if this was our range, and this is what we were trading, if this was our channel, and then we broke south of that channel, right, we'd be expecting a retest, and then resistance, and then further move south, all right? Now, if we're okay with coming down and just retesting levels, which is what we're doing at the 382, then you have to play this cautiously. This distance between what was support and is now resistance, and where you're currently trading now. All right, so that's something to factor in with your longs and shorts. Now, if you're looking for continued downtrend, we don't have one yet. On the smaller time frame, we do, right? Not on the daily. So let's go to the hourly chart and see what we're looking at here. So on the hourly chart, we've got one large move down with volume, right? Large move down with volume, slight consolidation right at our channel line, and then a further push away. So this would be considered the break, the retest, and then the push further down. Now, if we look at RSI is telling us that buying should be coming in. We're right at that level now where we should be starting to see some buying. However, we did make this right there. Right? And what that is, that's a lower low, right? So a lower low on price and a lower low on RSI. This confluence that we're headed down or still have room to go down. So if I was short, well, I'd probably only be short to what you were talking about, 130.53, the bottom of this range. If I really wanted to push it, then I might be playing trend, this trend line here, if that's from the top of the zoned area. Yeah, which it is. Let's go back to that daily real quick. So we're looking at that green trend down, which is also considered support. Right. Okay, so the bigger picture gives us a better idea. All right, so this trend line here, right? 1, 2, 3, validation, even though it's broke right here, it's still a significant trend. So you can look at breakout plays like this is a big, massive breakout, and then a push down to retest. So you said you were going to flip at 130. I'd be careful. I don't see any reason why we can't come down to 120. You got the 5 right here, which is support, 123. Right now, you flip the 382. Right? You flip, it was support. Now it just got tested and rejected. And now it's resistance. There's no reason why the next level is the 5. There's no reason why it can't come down to the 5. Test the 5. Push down a little further. Maybe wick down to this trend line here. That would be an official flip, right, from resistance to support, if we did find support from it. And then again, resistance, getting back into the channel, and then continuing trend. So, yeah, that's what I would think. Where you at, Paul? Yeah, Paul. That's what I'm going with. I would just be a little careful on the flip at 130. At that point, when you start approaching 130, right, we're at 133 right now. If you start approaching 130, I'd be scoping out the 15, 30-minute charts, get an idea for momentum, get an idea for, you know, does it even look like you're going to slow down and reverse? You don't have any major levels of support until you get to the 5, right? You've already lost 133.85. It looks like you're either trying to retest it right now or work your way in a little deeper. So if that's the case and you do flip this, you have to be careful of that as well. If you flip this and turn this into support, you probably don't want to be short anymore. I would imagine the next stop is going to be trying to flip this back to support and getting back into that channel. The channel is where it wants to be, right? So, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. What did happen? Okay, that was strange. Always remember, like, when you're in trend, you want to stay in trend. The trend wants to stay in trend. That's what the trend does. It takes extra work for the trend to come out of trend, right? So this is a lot of work. That's a big candle. It's a 16% move. It's down $25 on an asset that's only trading at, you know, open at 150, right? So it's a large move, right? It took out this entire play. So that's a huge move in order to back step in a minute, but it does want to continue to stay in trend. All right. So if we're looking at a low, right, and a high, and a higher low, and a higher high, and a higher low, you know, we're still in trend. This becomes out of trend when we break our previous low, which would be 113. All right, but coming down and testing support levels is fine. That's okay. You didn't want it to happen, but it happened. So, you know, it's fine. You can always hedge. Not now. It was stuck. All right. Well, hopefully, let me know. Let me know it's not stuck anymore. That was Wall. All right. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, man. No problem. All right. Cool. And remember, like if you're all right, you're on Kraken. So if you're shorting this and it's going the wrong way, you can hedge it. You know, the other way. Chances are, if this is coming down, Bitcoin's probably going up. So you can long Bitcoin and short Ethereum, because, you know, we do sort of stick within that same zone. I mean, like I said, this looks exactly like, you know, so basically what I'm saying is if one goes the wrong way, the other one's going to go the right way. Give yourself enough time to get out of the bad trade and go in, or you already be in at that point, on the good trade, right? All right, so that was that. For that, we looked at ontology already. RCN was a super low cap that we looked at once before. Really didn't do much for us. Mod, again, the D list. ONT, back up again. Here we go. PPT, 62. You know, I think we looked at that, but what do we got here? PPT is looking terrible. So this might be another wick play. Let's find out. PPT BTC. Let's see what the deal is here. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, you know, these kill me. Come on, guys. It's ridiculous. That's the third chart like that. Like, that doesn't need to happen. Yo-yo. Yo-yo is actual trading. Yeah, let me scope this out. Now, this is all over the place here. This is tough to read. So you're slightly bearish 5 and 1 and daily, right? But you're, what do you got here? Slightly bullish 4, 6, 12, and then the 15 and the 30 are bearish. Gave back 94% of the 50% gain, so that's pretty rugged right there. Let's actually look at the ETH pair. Let's look at the ETH pair. Let's do that, because it's got none of this sideways bullish. So let's see. Now with the 5 minute being in a strong uptrend, this look like you're trying to buy something back here. So let's go yo-yo ETH and see what's going on with that. All right, so overall, I guess we charted the BTC one because there's nothing on here. Jeez Louise, can't do nothing right. All right, let me do this real quick. I'll just do a 10-second TA. We'll do something like that. We'll do something like that. We'll do something like that. Something like that. Something like that. And something like that. Why is nothing? Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I didn't lock it. Smart. Smart. Holy moly. This is what happens. You try to do 10-second TA and then... and then you do it wrong. So, that's not good for anybody. All right. We're cool, I think. We got our happy levels over here. All right, let's get out of here. Zoom back in. All right, so the larger play, it looks like we had, or we were trying to do an ABCD. We got stopped here. AB, no, that's no good. So we came down from our high. We made a lower high, or made a lower low, and then sideways. So a breakout play here, which could have been cool had you taken it. That would have been an indication to sell. Came down V bottom, which was okay. Came back up. Lost it here back to range. So couldn't make it past previous accumulation area. Lost it again. Came back down. Had a nice push up. Real nice push. 12% and 21% up for the candles. That's really good. But what did we do here? Failed to make a higher high. So now we could do this right here in that ballpark like that. So failed to make a higher high, pushed it all the way back down. Everything you gained, you basically lost 16% and 10%, 26% down. Now where you found support, right, that's going to be probably close to the 886, if not even a little further. So let's check that. We'll take our bottom right here, and we'll take our top right here. And let's see. So just past the 886, right? So you wick down to it. You wick down a little further, but actual support body candle closed at the 886. All right, so 886 is okay for support on some of these coins. To find support is important. So that's good. As far as a pullback is concerned, it's a little ridiculous for a pullback, but could very easily come back up. Let's see what we have RSI wise. Not much shaking here. We're below the 50 line, still slightly bearish, so we'll have to watch this and see if you're actually able to do anything with that. Volume's been decent, above average for this particular asset, so that's okay. Certainly has a struggle getting through that zone, right? So just on the 11,565, that's going to be an area of concern for me. I'd like to see us push past that, which also happens to be very close to the 786. I'd like to see flip the 786, and then I would feel better about coming back up. Until we do that, I would stay bearish on this. Plus, it's a low cap coin, so it's hard to get anything out of that. But good volume though, good trading volume. Overall, pretty nice. Let's see, what do we got here? Stream stuck, sell over, not now. You're stuck for the moment. All right, well, thanks, buddy. Thank you. I see what you're saying. Thank you. I've heard a lot of talk about ZIL. You have, huh? Huh. Well, let's take a look at it. There's no reason why we can't. Let me see what the trend is looking like. ZIL BTC, ZIL ETH, ZIL USDT. So it looks like it's a newer tether pairing on Binance. That could be why you've heard some news about it. So we can't do much with this. Won't be enough charting history. ZIL ETH, 5 minute, look like on the buyback. This is actually, all right, so this right here, if you're familiar with the scanner, this is a really good play. Generally what this is going to look like, and we don't know yet, we'll have to pull the chart up, but generally what this will look like, sideways, breaking out of range. All right, so you're bullish on the 5 minute, everything else is sideways, slightly bearish, you know, so you start getting the 15-minute block starts going bullish. You know, you're up over 20% is what we'd like to see. 13 is okay. We'll take a look, although it's already lost 75 of that 13. This is something that we'll certainly pull up and take a look at. ZIL ETH. Just sounds silly. All right, so ZIL ETH. On the larger move, which was this guy back here, what have we done? We've done nothing good. Done nothing good. We have came down lower than our one, so that's not great at all. I want to take a look at the 5 minute chart. I want to see how bullish the 5 minute chart is so that I can get an idea on what kind of buying is going on here. So the last time we made a low, as far as the 5 minute chart is concerned, what do we got here? Right here. All right, so earlier today, right? Today's 24th. Am I crazy? Yeah, today's 24th. Earlier today, 8:30 a.m. for me, Central Time. So we have this going on right now, and that's on the 5. So when you have something like this, it's a good indication, right? Just to pay attention to the overall trend. So if we look at the overall trend on the daily chart, we should be able to see something that's slightly sideways. And like the whole chart is sideways, basically. So not a lot going on for the whole chart. As far as lows are concerned, we have a low, we have a higher low, we have a higher low, and then we have a failure low. So that failure low, I would mark up something like this and do something like that. That'll give me an indication of swing failure down here. Now for the highs, we had a high, we had a lower high, we had basically a double top ish, close to a double top. Another nice breakout play here to the downside. That was that. So that could have been nice. Huge move up, sideways. Now you got lower highs, down. Now you make this. So now you have a low, a higher high, a higher low, and a higher high. And then again, failure, right? So you could do this right here. And then you do that. All right, so a broadening wedge in which trading, right, is working its way up until you have breakout play. So with resistance in this ballpark all the way up here, we got a ways to go before we ever get there. So let's take a closer look once we get back to a tighter time frame. I want to get rid of this for now, and I just want to get a better idea just on this play here. So on the daily chart, of course, you know, lower low, 5-minute bullish, so we got movement up. Let's just track just this area here, call that little pin cushion what we got. So we would be expecting at least to come back to previous structure low, which is this guy right here. All right, so it doesn't look like much, and we're almost there. So that trade is basically over. But this would be the first area of concern. We'd be looking at 2810 ballpark. All right, so if you flip 2810, the next stop for me would be the 236. So if I did get confidence in that trade, let's just say for instance, we did something like that. It's 8%. I mean, that's a good rip. That's a real good rip. Of course, you do want some type of confidence from something, and you can't go off of this trend because you're using that anchor to make the trend. So that's not great. If we did back the trend up a little bit, we'd have some type of idea, but even then it's going to change everything out. So let's say you did do something like that, then you don't have support until all the way down here, right? This is actually this is a little bit more accurate for now, if this does hold. Now look at the last time we had something very similar, right? You came down, you found support, you pushed up, and then you had 4 consecutive days of making lower lows. All right, so this could very easily be the same thing, and we could be headed to somewhere down in this ballpark area over here. And if that's the case, then we'll probably be backing out of this. This is a good sign. All right, that's okay. Now you're coming up, so you have divergence over here. This is bullish divergence on the RSI, right? So your RSI is showing this. All right, so if your RSI, now when we match these up, and I'll show you in a second, if your RSI comes down, dips below 30, or really at any time, but it's more significant when you dip below or dip above 70. All right, so this does 2 things right here. First off, you came down, you made low, you're considered, quote unquote, oversold. You flipped back up over the 30 and came back down. But this time, you didn't make a deep enough cut, right? So this is a swing failure. All right, so swing failure is two things, right? One, it gives you the idea that you need to take a look at price and see what it's doing. So if you have on the RSI, you have a higher low, but on price, you have a lower low, then you have what's considered divergence, right? So it doesn't agree. Something is wrong here. So if that's the case, which it is, then we would be looking at a play bullish. So there's your confirmation. If you did want to do something with ZIL and you did want to bring this up, that's your confirmation right there. Bullish divergence and swing failure. So let me finish the swing failure story. So you dip down below 30, you come back up. This is your new target level right here that is important. So that is your pullback or your retrace. Upon a swing failure, the aggressive trader will buy right here and go long. All right. The more conservative trader will then wait until we cross over, or in this case, yeah, over our previous retrace resistance level, which is this guy right here. All right. So that was our deepest retrace after the pull. Call it a pullback, right? But it's a retrace. We came down, made a higher low instead of a lower low, so it's a swing failure. Swing failure tells you, bang, you can go long here if you're aggressive. You can wait until you cross the line if you're conservative, and you can see we crossed the line. We're retesting the line as we speak. It should find support and then continue to go up, at least, you would think, to the 50 line, which would be this guy once I put the numbers in. All right, and then this will give you an indication of RSI, helping you to make decisions on this particular trade if you were to trade this. All right, and again, we're on the daily chart, so if you want a better idea on what's happening, swing over to the 4-hour. 4-hour give you a good idea on what's trending right now. So this is good, right? So you start low, you're making a higher low, so or higher highs, I should say, or no, higher lows, yeah. I was right the first time. Yeah, so that's good. And you can go to the hourly and get a better indication of what may be happening. All right, so all of that is good. All that's gravy. Again, this will give you a better indication of what we're looking at. 12,993 after you get over the 12,802 zone. All right. So I hope that helped. Wall, I hope that helped. Kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders on yo-yo. I was thinking about the end of month on ZIL 28 to get you over here. So I mean that's a lot of trading between now and then. I have to play that by ear. Let's take a look at that inverse head and shoulders. So we're going back to yo-yo. I know I need a I need a computer that can handle the chat window and stream at the same time, and then I'd see the questions as they come up. All right, what did we do? Yo-yo ETH, right? I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Yeah, sure, that'll work. Let's paint that out real quick. Head and shoulders. It's a bit of a butchery on the left, but we can make that work. It's going to kill the neckline, though. So left, we'll have to do something like that. We'll have to put our head down here. Unfortunately, we got to put the... Well, we're going to have to not do the wicks. I mean, we can. Let's paint it and see what it looks like. All right. Right shoulder... here, and we would need our right shoulder back over here for the neckline. We could fix the left because we had proper trading over here. Come on, buddy, you could do it. Don't be like that. There you go. All right, so inverse head and shoulders brought to you by Wall on yo-yo ETH. Yo-yo ETH? Yeah, yo-yo ETH on the daily chart. All right, so neckline breakage all the way over here. We can get an idea on possible trades. Neckline break. We do want it from the center, so let's do that. All right, 81 with 94 on a break. So possible 52% to the upside gain, but we do have to complete the right shoulder, push up, break through. Usually head and shoulder, you'll almost always get that retest. So if it is the breakthrough, this is the neckline break is actually almost perfect with our current trend, which we could oh boy, yep, that wasn't supposed to happen. So this is the trend line that we threw up there real quick. That was the failure, right? Failure to make another high, but this is actually pretty perfect right here. All right, so this trend line is actually very much our neckline as well. So that's great confluence, just in pattern, shape, and form. That's really good. We like to see something like that. That's good. Yeah, so this would be, you know, you don't play the build of the pattern, right? You play the pattern completion. So if you were extremely aggressive, you could use this as an idea that you're painting that shoulder. And if you were, you'd be going long. Of course, you would like that confluence with something else that's telling you to go long. But, you know, if that's your style of trading, then that's your style of trading. Most people would be playing this out not differently. Most people would be waiting or looking for internal scalp trades to do. So let's say you came up, you did this, and then you did this. That's what you'd be looking at. All right. Upon break and retest, you'd be looking at a 52% gain, give or take. Now you do have other things to consider, such as this. And that's going to be an area of resistance on top of that other area of resistance. So if that is the case, then you do have to be mindful of those and maybe front run it a little bit in order to, you know, maintain your profits. Or if you do creep up to it, just pull up your stop so that you're at least in profits, you know, at the 45, 48% zone, and then you could take it from there. Cool. Good job, Wall. Thank you for looking out. All right, Ron, will we retest ETH highs again in that channel? We're going back to ETH. ETH USD. Is that what we did? Tether? No. What did we do? BTC? Oh, we were on Kraken. All right, hold on. ETH USD Kraken. Right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Are we going to test new highs in that channel? In this channel, is it? Is that what you're talking about, Ron? This channel? We have to get back in that channel first. That's number one. When we get back into the channel, yeah, for sure, you would be looking at testing new highs within that channel. That's if you're a trend trader and you're trading the trend, right? The local trend is bullish, right? The local trend is an uptrend. And that's why you have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low, you have a higher high, a higher low. So you're looking to make a higher high. Yes, of course. Is it going to be a bit of a fight to get there? Possibly. You have a large area of accumulation, consolidation right here, as well as right here, and as well as right here. I mean, this whole, you know, we could actually do this if we wanted to, which is gross, but I mean, we could do that. You know, accumulation, accumulation, accumulation. All three bands have heavy trading in them. So what would be interesting if we put the volume profile up and get an idea of what the nodes look like. So we could do that right now, scope this out, and just look at what the nodes are showing us as far as, you know, where are people happy to buy and where are people happy to sell. So if we give ourselves more of the actual move from bottom to top, a little bit of trading, you see point of control right here. It's all the way down at 106. All right, now depending on how much time you put on this is how the volume profile will be affected, right? But large nodes, which means there was a lot of buying at this price, right? Or within that price. So 115, 121, 146. These are all areas to be mindful of, not to mention the point of control, which is the largest node area at 106. So you're trading this particular trend right here, and you know that you have large nodes below you at 115 and at 121, then you have to be mindful of those nodes. Where we are right now, current price is right here. This is like a medium zone, right? A medium node. Consider this like a low node, low volume node, high volume node, right? This is like a little gap right here of nothing great. Now, value area is up above and below. So value area, if you are to cross 146, which is this zone right here, you'd be looking for larger movements up. Larger movements. Just like what happened right here. All right, you had accumulation, accumulation, accumulation. Big pop. All right, big pop. There's not a lot of buying, at least in this particular zone. Now, if we bring this all the way back, you know, of course, everything's going to change because you're looking at a much larger range of trading. So something like this, and let's say we went back to, what, June. Point of control on here is showing 121 for trading, all trading that happened between June 10th and current trading right now. So that I just want to give you an idea how the volume profile worked if you didn't know. And yeah, and that's that. I wonder what this, you know what? Nah, that's the 70. That's too bad. If this were a 618 retrace, that would have been good. We could have started painting some of our harmonic patterns, but no such is the case. However, let's take a look at this real quick. What do we got there? What is this? Oh man, that's close. That is real close. But yeah, no good. That's too bad. On the Bitcoin chart, that's our bullish Garley. But no dice on this guy. Sorry, guys. No harmonics. No harmonics for you. All right, will retest E-ties? Yes, that's my opinion. Wallbanger, thanks for everything you do. Wall, thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate it. I used to just talk to myself. Now I'm talking to 6 of you. And I'm cool with that, man. I'm coming up on the charts anyway to look at things, so I'd rather share those with other people if they're interested. Answer any questions I can. Just try to you know, try to help people out. This right here is nice so far. So buying's coming in. You know, we're looking at it live, right? So 382 is getting pushed up. We're going to need to see this on something a little bit more dramatic. So we'll bring up the 15-minute chart because everybody loves the 5 and the 15. So what do we got? 15-minute chart so far coming from, yes, this is the daily close candle right here. So first 15 of the daily close came up, had a bit of a spinning top generally indecision after a very large dump is either hesitation and then continuation or possibility of exhaustion. You know, in other words, they used everything they had to get to this level and then they were beat. Look at the volume almost matching candle by candle, and look at the size of movement in the candle, very little. So you can tell a lot of volume came in, not much has happened. Next candle came down. Technically, you'd be looking at a hanging man if you're going to call this an uptrend, but 2 candles don't make an uptrend, so we're just going to call it what it is, and it's just a candle. It does represent a hanging man. It also represents an inverted hammer. But basically what happened was There was a retest down below at lower levels. It got rejected. Bulls came in and said no dice. After they said no dice, they pushed it up a little bit further, barely lost anything off the top, and then that candle closed. Next candle, this is basically a Marabuzzo. Marabuzzo meaning that there's almost no wick open to close higher than the body. There is a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. I ain't going to lie to you, but it is right there. We opened at 132.99. We hit a high 135.08. Okay, so yeah, and we closed at 134.93. So 134.93, 135.08. We're talking about 7, 8, 6, 15 cents. Not a big deal. All right, now the next candle up now, this right here. Again, indecision, but this is doji. So doji meaning that we're way less than 2%. It's a 0.04%. Again, indecision. So now we could go either way. So this is the guy we're looking at to make a decision on what the hell is going on. Now, take a look at a 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart, we see the rounded top. Rounded top, again, here's that hanging man. Now, hanging man at the top of an uptrend is generally reversal, so you would expect this to come down a little bit more. This is a micro view of a retest. All right? So everybody's on the same page. Trading comes down. You blow through. You retest. You try to make lower lows. You fail. You come up. You push up and through. You retest. All right? If the retest produces a higher high, then it's expected to go up. All right, now that's just, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. That's just psychologically, right? That's not 100% how that always goes down, but that is to give you an idea of trading and what happens in the market a lot, right? You push down, you break a level. There was hesitation. You tried it first, right? You tried it and you didn't get it, right? The bulls pushed it back up. You tried it again. You found support on it, body candle close. Then you broke it. Then you retested it. And when it was on your side and you flipped it, right, from support to resistance, it's your job to maintain the course. So as a bear, you flipped it. Every time you flip, right, you won that little war, and now it's yours. But it's only yours until you do this. All right? Until you cross over the line from your previous low, you're only just playing with it. And as you're playing with it, the bulls came in and said, nah, man, we're taking this back. So now it's their turn. They push it back, and they push it up only just a little bit, and now they got this to deal with. Now, it's expected that they would come in and flip this fully, meaning that they would come in and make sure that they have support on it. And by making sure they have support on it, trading would come down. They would allow the bears to push it down so that they can be retested and show them that they're in charge. And if they're in charge, this now becomes support again, properly flipped from resistance back to support, in which case they would continue to go up. They need to regain control and make a higher high than the high that they made before the retest. And then they have a whole bunch of levels to deal with on the way up, including this guy right here before the dump, which is the end of this zone. All right, so that's there's my little spiel on something. I'm not even sure. Ethan Allen. I'm not even sure what I was talking about for a minute there. This is the Bitcoin index chart on 5 minutes. So I wanted to see if it was similar to what ETH was doing. And it was, you know, you push down, you come back up, push down again, but now you're in an uptrend on the 5 minute. Not exactly a hanging man, but very close. Got the same idea. And let's see, this is the MEX chart, perpetual swap. So again, same idea, right? Push down, come back up, push down again, fail to make a lower low, push back up. Now we're making higher highs. So, but now you have, this is, yeah, so that's a hanging man right there. And now you're expected to come down lower. We'll see how that plays out. Let's check the first hour. What are we? We're 7:05, so we've been streaming for an hour. Came on at the candle close, so I'm actually going to jump off in a minute, but I do want to see what the first hour of trading has gotten us, and that's this right here. One full body candle, 0.66%, $24. So what we lost in the last hour of trading, we gained it back in the same candle. That's actually a really good sign for overall trading. Again, this is a proper retest, and this is on the hourly chart. So a push down, right? And then come back for the retest, and then push down again. Now, if they can't make anything lower than this, then it's still on the bull side. But they need to do their work, and they have to push up past it, retest it, and rock and roll. Alright, in which case they'll set their own levels on the retest for what they need to cross over. But you are super close to a few things here. Of course, we're on the hourly, so I can't see what this line was. But it's significant for a reason, and that's 36.91, so keep your eyes on that. And also around that 382 zone, which is where we're looking to find support and hold support before continuing back up. Wow, it looks brutal on the it looks brutal on the hourly. Oh yeah, don't look at that. That's just a big mess. Yeah, don't pay any attention to this. This is what I was looking for, something similar on the ETH chart, but didn't quite meet the criteria, so therefore it didn't get painted. But this is a bullish Gartley. That's what we're looking at for the last, well, for a while now. These back since January. And these are the take profits. So we hit the first one, we hit the second one. Working on the third one now, 42.41 ballpark, bit of a front run. Almost hit it on a front run on that wick. Didn't quite get there. Depends how far front run you actually ran it. If you ran it like a lot, then you would have actually hit it, which would have been nice. But it's not invalid yet, so we're still in this move. We're still in the play, and we'll have to see how this all shakes out. Until then, let me just see if there's any new questions. Oh, we got some stuff. All right, hold on. I talk to myself and answer myself. It's still past the psych exam. Whoa, that's fantastic. Good work. ADX BTC looks crazy with the wicks on the daily. Audio's on point, but video laggy as fuck. Yeah, that's true. I'm working on it, man. I have to get a new system, new computer, new blah, 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 all that crap. It'll happen in time. We just have to deal with what we have for now, and things will get better. All right, so if you stick with me through the shit, then you'll love it when the system's upgraded. ADX BTC, let's take a look real quick. ADX BTC. Let's scope it out. Oh, gee. What are you doing to me, Wall? Nobody wants to see this. Oh, man. You're killing me. All right. So, yeah. When we look at a coin... Oh, this is terrible. All right. So, when we look at a coin from a glance, from far away, this is a perfect example of what you never want to see. This is everything that a pump and dump type of coin would have. Massive pumps up with 100% retrace, right? Just losing everything. So they suck you in, they suck you in, they suck you in. You buy the pullback, and you're beat. All right, same thing here. Now these were the really aggressive ones. These are the hugely egregious ones. But all of this crap in here is the same thing. Once we zoom in, you'll see, and with the volume to boot, right? So something like this, I don't know, whatever the market cap on this thing is, like $7. Let's just say it was. It's a great example. Let's say the market cap was $10. All right, and obviously it's not, but let's say it was. If you see trading at $100 volume, right, well over the market cap, then we can clearly say that there's a problem there, right? There's nothing good about that. Let's start on the left. Big pump up, good pullback, right? Good pullback, solid pullback, good move, continuing to make higher highs with gigantic wicks in the process. This played out. That's fine. This is good. This giant wick up here, and then the next day you're down over 100%. That's not good. All right, that's terrible. This move up top, all the way up top here, big move up, good pullback, right? That's fairly good. We'll call that 50%. Small move up, failure to make a higher high, and then you dump. Not good. Massive move up. Look at this candle. Big move up, huge move, lost it all. All right, another big move up, came down. We'll call that somewhere near the 70%, right? Maybe even the 886. Another massive move up within 2 days. You're down probably more than 70%. Another huge move up, all within the same day. You're all the way back down, and by the next day, 100% loss. All right, this is not good. I'll tell you right now, this I won't trade. There's nothing you could TA on this that would ever make me feel good about it right now. If all this crap gets knocked off and we see a chart that looks a little bit more decent with less volatility just within a 1 day candle, then okay. But until then, no. And with these large volumes, this is just, one guy telling the next guy, hey, this is the next coin we're going to move. We're going to push this guy up. Yep. Yada, yada, yada. And they start talking back here. They push it up. They sold right here. And they let momentum carry it back up. They sold to the last ring in the party who's just buying up here. And they're out and they're enjoying their profits. So not good. Wall, I can't believe you made me look at that. It's destroying my screen. Tron. All right, Saint. We'll pull up Tron and then I'm going to roll. All right. For now, I'll try to come back on later. So, Tron. Justin tweeted, huh? Well, he didn't do a very good job. I mean, he stopped the bleeding. Look, this thing was crazy on, look at this. Is this the chart? It's not even going to be the right chart. Where is it? It's not as brutal as I remember it looking. It looked a lot worse. What are we at here? It's only 4% loss. That's not it. Saint, what do you need? What pairing are you looking at for Tron? I'm not seeing much on the swap. Or the futures, I should say. Tron BTC? Is that what you want to see? Let's go Tether. Let's see how brutal Binance. There it is. That's what I remember looking at. All right, so Tron, killing me. All right, let's see. Within 1 hour, we moved 16% down. It's not bad. It's not that bad. I mean, geez. All right, similar to sort of making a diamond pattern here, no? Let's take a look at that. Diamond bottom. Ish. Yeah. Well, close. It's not, you'd have to get rid of the wicks and you'd have to do some things. So, no, not really. But, we'll paint it down anyway because it could be educational, right? We like that. So something like this, something like that, something like that. You would like to have a candle here, but you don't, do you? No. And then it would come back over here. So this would be considered a diamond pattern. Generally speaking, a diamond pattern will have a large amount of trading, wider spread in the middle, and then condense itself down to the left, condense itself down to the right, which it didn't really do here, so that's why I'm going to get rid of it. But it does visually slightly represent a diamond. This is important because you have a bit of higher highs and then a fall, right? So if you were to trend, or not trend, if you were to do something like this, this is kind of what you're looking at, and that is kind of what you're looking at, right? So it does give you the indication that possibly you could be looking at something interesting there, but really not so much. All right, so let's see, blah, 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 down, dip just below the 30. That's fine. Let's see what we got on the bigger scale here. 1 hour big dump, drop down, found support here. There you got 02 on support. All right, you are making, at least if you count the wicks, you're doing this, which is okay. All right, and if we do this, all right, so if you're familiar with bullish and bearish continuation or reversals, you would be looking at a bear pennant. Okay? So when price comes down violently, right, you have yourself a pole. And then if you start painting a pennant, which a pennant is a symmetrical triangle. Now again, you have to use the wicks in order to do this. Otherwise, you might have a different pattern here. For sure, you wouldn't have what we just drew. So using the wicks, we have a symmetrical triangle. After a large move down, this would give indication that we would do something like this. Okay? So, not great. Unless you're shorting it. If you're shorting it, then it's another story. So how you would play this, if you were going to play it to the south side, you would be waiting for a break. We're on the hourly chart, so you may get a retest. You would like to see that, but really you could just buy the break and go south. Oh, sorry about that. But you are looking at this too, which is nice, which is a decrease in volume during pattern, right? So you're making the pattern, you're crushing volume as you're crushing price. So you're basically like winding or pulling back on a coil, and you're just waiting to release it. So that would be the idea, at least on the hourly chart. On the daily chart, yada, 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 get W bottom, breakdown, big impulse move up. So you had your ABCD right here, which is nice, something like this, blah, 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 blah. Then from there, we ended up breaking down, topped out, an unimpressive top out with slower levels dropping down lower. So we could do something like this and like this. This would give us an area of resistance coming back up, and this would give us a falling wedge by doing something like that. So you'd be playing also the falling wedge just in that zone. That would be the area of concern, right? So two ways to look at the breakout play. On the hourly, you'd be playing a bear pennant, and on the daily, you'd be playing the falling wedge. All right? So if the bear pennant were to bring you to the falling wedge and a break south, again, you'd be looking at a break of it. You might have to zoom into a tighter time frame for the retest and then continuation down. At which case, now you're going to need some areas of support or resistance. So in this case, you're shorting, so you'd be looking for support. 0.02085 would probably be the first area, at least from the daily chart. And then I'm sure we have some areas over here that would be of interest. Not sure anything's going to fall into that particular zone. This held good. This held good. Not so much going on over here. You're a little bit further down. Yada, 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 yada.